I'm Stacy Tisdale for Howdini. Okay, the sales clerk is snippy, your boss is grouchy, that irritating coworker has done it again. How do you react? It's an important question for your mental health, and for some answers, we're joined by Mary Bolster, Editor-in-Chief of Natural Health magazine. Mary, good to have you with us. Now, someone that I might find annoying, you might not find annoying. How are you defining difficult people?
Well, you came up with some pretty good examples in the beginning there, and it's like an indifferent salesperson. You're going there, you're trying to find something, and nobody will help you, and they seem to be willfully ignoring you. Strident, demanding bosses, I think most people find them difficult. And then you mentioned this, the coworker, the person who just constantly gets you to do his or her work. That is so annoying. But it's really anybody who kind of gets your blood pressure higher than it should be.
All of this reminds me of a difficult boss that I had, and I always tried to clear the air, make things easy for us. But you say that we shouldn't necessarily try to find common ground with these people.
I would say that's probably the wrong thing to do, and it may encourage the rude person's difficult behavior. Really what you want to do is remain neutral. You don't really want to create peaceful ground between yourself and the negative person. You want to protect your own ground. So you don't want to get your emotions higher than they should be. You really want to stay neutral. So if, for instance, you normally react with anger, you want to kind of contain that anger. You want to remind yourself that this person's difficult behavior is about them, not about you. You don't take it personally, and you just state the facts. You're assertive without being aggressive, and that's how you get what you want from that person.
How should we handle our emotions when we're faced with these difficult situations?
There's a couple of ways that people typically respond to difficult people. One way is to get obsessed, like, oh my gosh, this person shouldn't be difficult, and I'm going to change her. Well, hello, that is never going to happen. You just want to say, you have to let go of that. You have to acknowledge that there are always going to be obnoxious, difficult people. There's two instances where you really want to kind of take stock. Another is if you act hurt when someone is difficult with you, because difficult people take advantage of that kind of behavior. They think you want approval, and so they'll really kind of milk that need for approval. So you want to just sort of visualize yourself being indifferent toward this person, that you don't need their approval, you don't need to get angry with them, you can just be neutral with them, and that's where you're more likely to get what you need from these people.
It sounds like the general message is that all you can control is the way you react to these things. You can't control outside circumstances, you can't control the people.
That's right. Really, if you can change what's inside, then things on the outside won't have as big of an effect on you.
You make the point that difficult people can indeed affect your health, but explain how that really happens.
Well, there's two things that happen when you're around difficult people. Your blood pressure can go up, and you get really high levels of stress. Anytime you're going to have to deal with a difficult person, say a difficult boss, you're thinking, oh geez, I do not want to do this. You might overeat, you might stay up late at night thinking about the confrontation you're going to have, because everything feels like a confrontation. So if you can bring yourself, and whether you visualize it so that you get there, but if you can get to that calm, centered space in yourself, every encounter with the difficult people is going to be ratcheted down so that you can remain calm, so that you don't feel like your heart rate is going up, that your breathing is getting shallow, and that you're sort of stressing out. Because stress, the cortisol hormone that gets activated when you're stressed, is so bad for your health.
And stress is bad for us on so many levels.
Yeah. So that's one thing. You want to constantly bring yourself back to that calm center. Take your deep breath and say, I'm not going to let this person get under my skin.
Great advice. Mary Bolster, Editor-in-Chief, Natural Health magazine. Thank you so much for joining us.